Alright, what is going on, guys? Pablo's back again, and sorry, need to get all my chakras in a row just because this is so I still think this character is dumb. So he's a no affiliation character, and his quote is, "I wouldn't be me if even one was missing. They're all my power." That leads me to wonder, like, would they ever make a Soul Reaper, Quincy, human, hollow Ichigo, like just have all of them, or is he gonna stay? I mean, it looks like he's staying no affiliation, but I wonder if they would ever do that. Like, is like, I wonder if that would ever be a thing. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, he does have a hollow and human killer, and we're gonna discuss like his damage calculations and stuff like that, because he's a very interesting character, but there are a lot of caveats to the type of damage that he deals, right? Like, if we go into like one of the characters that deals probably the most damage is probably going to be the other Ichigo, which is kind of funny. So we're gonna pull up Ichigo, and the reason for that is because this guy also has Frenzy +2, but he also has plus 100% damage if the enemy is not afflicted by a status ailment. This Ichigo changes things up because not only does he have Frenzy +2, but he has the SP boost with Disabler, with Weaken, with full stamina damage boost too. But the caveat is that his strong attack kit is dog water compared to this Ichigo or even some of the other characters. Like, I think Toshiro, he has a better beam, and it's his first strong attack instead of the second strong attack like this Ichigo. Not this Ichigo, like this Ichigo has. Excuse me. They both have strong attack 3s, which is just standard full screen, which is just fine. And then the first strong attack is where it's going to really differ, because this character has the 18% magnification for strong attack, whereas Toshiro has the good 3000 length beam that this character didn't even get for his second strong attack. And then the second strong attack for Toshiro, I believe, is a lunge. I might be wrong, I don't think I am, just because I have the Toshiro and I play with him, but I don't play with him very much because I only have him 1 out of 5, and I prefer to use my Retsu because my Retsu is like fully built up. Boom boom, second strong attack, 870, 1080, yeah, this is going to be, I believe, Uryu's, I think it's Uryu's, yeah, he has Uryu's lunge for his second strong attack, which is a really, really good strong attack, by the way, so don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that Toshiro is obsolete. I'm not saying that Ichigo is trash. I'm just simply saying there's going to be a very weird interaction when it comes to damage. So when we're going to be talking about just raw damage, I'm only going to be discussing his third strong attack. Why? His first strong attack is an 18% range, 18% magnification range collision due to strong attack. I'll bring that up after we calculate just raw damage, right? So let's just assume that his third strong attack, each hit will hit for 100, right? Just baseline, just damage. And we're gonna calculate in every single one of these characters, both this Ichigo, because I think that this Ichigo is probably the closest in terms of like Frenzy 2 plus 100% damage. So let's just calculate in everything, and then we're gonna bring it up in a little. Yeah, you know, we'll bring this up. We'll bring this up into a little spreadsheet here. So we're gonna do Ichigo, 1000 Year Blood War, Toshiro, Safui, Ichigo, free to play, by the way. That's gonna be the new Ichigo because he's a premium pool character. so I'm gonna judge that. All right, so let's calculate in Ichigo, right? So we have Frenzy +2. We have damage plus 100%, and that's pretty much if they're not afflicted with a status element, which he doesn't proc any status elements, so it should be at all times. If it's a single player quest, which we're just going to count that. And then he has nothing else here. For the links as well as T20, because let's be real here, we're going to probably T15 them at least. We're just going to calculate as if they only are at T15. With full stamina damage boost, and let's just assume that all the links are the same. So full stamina damage boost 25% from T15 as the skill, and then full stamina damage boost, let's assume that we use a Chad link, a 16% link, and let's just do two 16% links. Let's keep it simple. So 32 plus 25. 32 plus 25 should be 57. Yeah, 57. I like how my brain is just like brain farting. So we're gonna calculate this in together. So 57, 75 plus 7, 82. So we're gonna do 82% full stamina damage boost, and that's gonna go across the board for all the characters. So this 82 is gonna get calculated in 82% full stamina damage boost. T15 links. Thumbs. I don't know how to do emojis on the keyboard. Okay, so let's go into Toshiro, and now we're gonna calculate in his stuff. So he has Frenzy +1. He has strong attack. Cat hair. Let's see here. We get the Berserker plus 100% only during Gauge, which is plus 100% damage. Okay, that's not a normal Berserker. He has a basic Berserker of 40%. We're gonna have the full stamina damage boost of 82%, along with his SP boost of 80%, and this is gonna be plus about 65% damage from his strong attacks, not his soul bomb. His soul bomb, I'm not even gonna bother calculating it. He has a better nuke than the new Ichigo for sure. Just because this character has like the bombardment, you're gonna get the spiritual pressure. Oh, wait, but the other character gets a spiritual pressure boost too. You don't get bombardment, right? You get devastation 40%, and then you get the plus 50% weakening. I guess we're gonna calculate all this. This is gonna be a long video, so I apologize in advance for those that wanted like a quick in and out. I don't do that. I'm gonna break it down, and then if I get something wrong, I'm not gonna just put out the video. You guys can see if I get it wrong. All right, so let's do here. Let's see, Soul Bomb, Bombardment +1, and I believe that's pretty much it. He doesn't get extra damage. I don't want to calculate in. I'm not gonna calculate in. Full stamina only. He has increased full stam damage. Holy crap. Full stam sad plus 40%. That's actually crazy. Yeah, no, this character should hit just as hard as the Ichigo in terms of like the numbers. It looks like. We'll see. This whole thing is gonna be stupid in my opinion. Bombardment +1, and then I'll do the full stamina damage boost. I'm actually gonna separate it because the Ichigo 1000 Year Blood War, you have a devastation of 60%, right? If we're gonna calculate in Soul Bomb, we're gonna definitely make use of that. Remember that the damage plus 100% to non-status ailment actually triggers for your Soul Bomb damage. By the way, some people seem to forget that and wonder why this guy nukes actually pretty hard. He doesn't have bombardment, so he doesn't have the amount of hits, which is kind of important when a character gets like weak in defense. But I don't want to calculate weak in defense because then we're gonna be here all day. So we're just gonna do that, assuming that the characters are T15. Now going into this Ichigo, we have Frenzy +2. We have Berserker 40%. We have Tech Character Sad 20%, which gets calculated after, which is really good. We have full stamina damage boost of 102%, just like the Toshiro. Toshiro has a built-in 20%, and then we're gonna get 25 them in the links, right? Then this character also has the SP boost of 80%. I do want to not calculate into the disabler, but I do want to bring up disabler into the equation because that's super, super important and relevant for this character in particular. Devastation of 40%, and then he also has the weakening. Stupid weakening. Oh my god, weakening though. And drain, because drain deals a bit of damage. It's not a crazy amount, but it is relevant in my opinion. Devastation, Frenzy +2, full stamina damage boost. Do you have anything else? Strong attack damage, Berserker, Frenzy plus 2. Frenzy plus. It still hurts my brain. Like, it's like, why? Oh, and in Arena, he picks up Poise? Okay. Keep in mind, this character is not immune to any status element. Someone brought it up in my video in the comments, and he's like, no status element immunity? Bro, just dodge. You have increased status element chance, and then the enemy is drained and weakened. Literally flash step, for the love of God. I swear, people like are so tired of playing this game. This is... Whatever. Okay, let's pull up the calculator. Let's calculate in raw damage. Let's assume that this Ichigo has a melee collision attack. Okay, so going into the original 1000-Year Blood War remake Ichigo, let's pull him up. Now we're gonna talk about him real quick. So I'm gonna bring up. Let's pull the calculator right here, and I'm gonna have the picture here just for like the graphic, just so that way everyone knows who I'm talking about at any given time as I'm like making these character stuff. You have damage, frenzy plus 2, devastation. Very, very simple. He picks up frenzy plus 3 in arena, star power up item plus 2 in arena. Oh, he's so good, dude. Read all dodge, and then we're gonna do this. Okay, so calculating in base damage for the third we're gonna pretend that we're doing the third strong attack, because that's gonna be the more important stuff, right? Let's assume that his third strong attack would normally deal 100 damage baseline for all these characters, and then we go frenzy plus 2, which is times 3, because you get 2 additional hits per hit, so you get 3 hits instead, multiply by 2, and then we get times 1.82, and this is gonna be full stamina damage boost 82%. And my cat is doing stupid stuff in the background. Joker. This is why you have a pet. Good water bottle. I'm gonna go and shake all my stuff. Okay. They might start fighting in a bit. I'll record it later. Put some WWE pay-per-view. Alright, so times 1.82 is going to be the damage you get from full stamina damage boost, right? Boom. That's going to be 1092 baseline damage. So we're going to... I'll put this in here. So baseline damage from SAD is going to be 1092. If we calculate in Soul Bomb, very, very simple calculations. Assume that his whole Soul Bomb would deal no, let's assume that each hit of his soul bomb would deal 100 damage. The third strong attack, the entirety of that strong attack will deal 100 damage, but for this Ichigo, for soul bombs, we're gonna assume that each hit is 100 damage, and the reason for that is Toshiro has bombardment, so I want to calculate in baseline as well. So we're gonna do 100, multiply this by 4, very, very simple. Multiply this by 2, because damage to non-status element affected enemies, and then we're also getting times 1.6 for devastation plus 60%, plus full stamina damage boost times 1.82. So we're getting the 4 hits total, but normally the baseline damage would be 100 times 1.6 times 2 for the damage to plus 100% to non-status ailment, and that's going to be devastation 60, damage plus 100%. Let's assume that you actually kept your full stam, because that's duh. And then this gets multiplied by 4 for the amount of hits from your soul bomb. Douche, right? So 2329.6. So baseline soul bomb damage is going to be 2329.6. Very, very simple. I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible for those that don't know how to do math, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure not all of you guys are gonna be great at math. And boom, boom. I'm not even trying to throw shade. I just know that people hate math. I'm the one weirdo that actually liked math back in high school, bro. All right, so let's go with this Toshiro. Now, Toshiro has a lot going on for him. From full stamina, SAD plus 40%, full stamina damage boost built into his kit at 20%, SP boost, Berserker, Frenzy. So let's assume that his third strong attack damage would deal a normal damage of 100. Now we're going to multiply this by 2 for the Frenzy plus 1 equals 1 additional hit, so 2 hits per strong attack. Berserker plus 40%, so times 1.4 times 1.4 again for full stamina strong attack damage, which gets calculated in after, which means that this gets calculated in separate, right? So that's another multiplier times 2.02 for full stamina damage boost times 1.65 damage roughly for the SP boost of 80%. That's usually how that goes down. And then we also calculated the full stamina damage boost, and that gives you a baseline damage, strong attack damage, of 1306.5. Now keep in mind, this is when your spiritual pressure boost is active. This character has a melee collision first strong attack, second strong attack, only frenzy plus 1, so the chances of you getting your spiritual pressure boost without wasting your soul bomb randomly, unless you're doing like epic raids, because let's be real here, if you're using your soul bomb on anything other than an actual like boss wave, you're probably wasting the soul bomb because it's one of the strongest soul bombs out there. So yeah, unless you're like fully dependent on that, this is assuming he has the spiritual pressure boost. Without the spiritual pressure boost, divide this by 1.65 and you'll see here that his damage plummets without this SP boost. You know, let me do SP boost. I don't want to give unrealistic like numbers either. I want to make sure that y'all understand fully where I'm coming from as well, because I think that it's very important to note that you're not always going to have your spiritual pressure boost, which is why I think it's really important to note that this Ichigo keeps it despite having range collision. So let's do this, followed up with this. Now what we're going to go into is the soul bomb damage. Okay, let's grab this. Now we're gonna go into the soul bomb damage. I'm gonna clear this just because too many numbers is gonna look a little weird. Let's go base 100 damage, right? Now we're gonna multiply this by 1.4. He doesn't get the plus 100% damage and plus the 82. Wait, did I do plus 82% damage? Let me see something. 100 times 1.82 times 1.6 times 2. Yeah, okay, so I did I wanted to make sure I did the full stam for the that Ichigo Thousand Blood War. So times 1. Times 2.02 full stamina damage boost 102%. 1.65 for this SP boost 80%. Times 1. No, and then there's gonna be times 2. Boom. Okay, so soul bomb damage is gonna be this times 8, assuming that you didn't already give this character weakened defense. I don't think he gets weakened defense built into his kit, like 90% sure. So some of these characters are so crazy now that sometimes I just really don't know. Okay, so that's gonna do that. So soul bomb damage, boom boom, 5,332. 5,332.8. Now this is very important to note because compared to the Ichigo, you'll see that the soul bomb difference is completely 100% massive. Like it's not even close. The baseline strong attack damage with SP boost is 1306, but this will get multiplied by 2 to 2600 during the duration of Toshiro's gauge, which the gauge mechanic got buffed. So that's also very important to note. So Toshiro isn't just a crazy character, he's crazy consistent. He consistently deals good damage, and occasionally he'll deal godlike damage for no reason other than to just deal godlike damage. And I want to let people know, like, just because you summon for Toshiro and this Ichigo has like some crazy stuff, this Toshiro has crazy stuff too. Like it's not like the character is just invalidated. He's still one of the strongest hitting units in the entire game. He's dealing almost 3 times the damage of this Ichigo when his gauge and SP boost are up. That's stupid. That's actually dumb, because this character is not like he doesn't hit hard. Sorry. I tend to get a little aggressive. Alright, so there goes the baseline soul bomb damage, there goes the SP boost damage, there goes the sad damage without the SP boost. Now, This Ichigo, I'm not even going to bother doing baseline strong attack damage, and I'm just going to do the baseline strong attack damage with the SP boost. And because the only reason that I'm even saying that is simply because this character has increased status element chance against all speed attribute enemies. You're not really going to ever use this character outside of that logic, and with his first strong attack being range collision, he's going to have that up 100% of the time. Like, the chances of you not having it, if I go to a probability calculator, you hit roughly 6 times. You hit roughly 6 times, and the probability is 12%. 12%. 6 times per enemy, assuming that you hit it into a group of like 3 enemies. That's going to be like 18 hits. You have like a 90% chance of hitting it with your first strong attack. So this is going to be pretty much a 100% uptime for the most part. Like, I want to say the uptime is going to be like 90%. Like, and that's not even exaggerating. If you're bringing him into Senkaimon stage where he doesn't have access to like a speed unit, then you're either a new player or you're using him in a suboptimal condition, like such suboptimal conditions that you probably should have used a different character to begin with. Okay, so let's just go into Ichigo. Baseline damage for his third strong attack times 3 times 1.4 times 1.2 times 2.02 times 1.65 equal, and that's going to be 1679.83, and you'll see here that this is already much higher than Toshiro. If you combine it, if you calculate this against Toshiro, you'll see here that the damage this character would deal 28.5% more damage than Toshiro. Now here's the important part that I'm failing to mention intentionally for dramatic effect. His first strong attack is dog shit. In terms of damage, you're going to be dealing maybe a third of Toshiro. No, not even. You'll probably be dealing maybe like 1/5. And the reason for that is Toshiro has not only a 3000 length beam. Let's pull it up. Not only does he have a 3000 length beam, but it has a width of 1020. And this Ichigo has an 18% mag first strong attack with a width of 1200. So the width is a bit higher. The length is 240, but it's a projectile, so you're not dealing a crazy amount of damage with it. So for those that are worried about this Ichigo breaking the meta, 7th anniversary is going to be crazy because you're going to see these types of skills on a character with a good kit, most likely. We've seen that with Uryu, we've seen that with 6th anniversary Aizen, we've seen it with Artbook Ichigo, we've seen it with 5th anniversary Ichigo, we've seen it with Byakuya, 5th anniversary Byakuya, we've seen it with Mugetsu. So usually we have pretty good kits for anniversary characters. So I just want y'all to understand that we're gonna have to be prepared for like some crazy anniversary type stuff. So make sure you start saving honestly now. If you want to summon on this banner, keep in mind these are premium pool characters. So just be very wary about going in on this banner. I personally said I'm gonna do 10 steps, I'm gonna do this, and then I thought about it. Sorry, I really need a drink of water. And then I thought about it as I was like laying down in bed reading Blue Lock. I'm really about to go 10 steps on a premium pool banner when I could do 5 steps on this, 5 steps on the individual, and then still have enough for and that'll give me enough time to save for end of the month March, which end of the month March historically is going to be usually pretty crazy. I'm actually surprised that we're getting a Brave Battle unit that's actually going to be meta at the end of the month February instead of end of the month March. That's very interesting to me, okay? Because we got Sajin end of the month January, so if they're going to try to end of the month December, not end of the month January. And the reason that I bring that up is if they're trying to do like a 2-month cycle for PvP characters, that's going to be a very different change in the meta of how K-Lab releases characters and how people start cycling out Brave Battle characters. Okay, so strong attack 2, let's see here. Now his second strong attack is going to be the same as Toshiro's beam. For some reason, I remember Toshiro getting the good beam, not the regular beam. Not that it's a bad beam, but yeah. So that's very, very interesting. So Ichigo's second strong attack is going to be the 3000 length beam. So that, in my opinion, is going to be better than the standard lunge that this Toshiro is getting from the second strong attack, the 7th anniversary Uryu lunge. I don't think that strong attack is really all that crazy. I'll give the second strong attack to Ichigo. I'll give the third strong attack to Ichigo. But that first strong attack is really important to note because this is going to be Toshiro's moneymaker, to be honest. Like, this is going to be what makes this character really move. But in regular content, the fact that this character gives 20% strong attack recharge to your allies is crazy, considering that if you're running this Ichigo, like one of, with like 3 Toshiros, you're going to see a lot of content just being like straight up cleared incredibly quickly. Now, the reason that I bring that up is, sure, now Toshiro might dominate with that first strong attack, considering that his second strong attack is still good. I'm not saying that it's bad, I'm just saying it's less. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, at this point, my ideal kit, and this is gonna sound mad cringe, the first strong attack, Aizen's beam with 1080 width, right? Second strong attack, Aizen's beam with the 1080 width. And then third strong attack, the crazy AoE in front. What's the radius of that? It's not 1200, it's 1170. I might be wrong on that. Let me bring up Cringy real quick. Cringy attack. I know his name is Gideon J. I'm making a joke. 1170. I'm making a cringy joke, okay? Radius 1170. So this third strong attack with like 2 3000 length beams. That sounds mad like stupid, but like that's just for me, it's just imagine douche douche douche, like so good. Either way, let's calculate in the rest of this stuff. I get sidetracked a little too often. So this Toshiro, even though I did bring up the baseline damage is 1300 compared to this Ichigo's 1680, this Toshiro has the gauge mechanic, which means his strong attacks come back really quickly as well. The gauge mechanic is better than the strong attack recharge mechanic that the Ichigo has, except for when you're running normal content, which honestly, you're probably, if you're running this character in content like IT, you're gonna want 3 Uryus anyways, or 3 super link stop potions or Grimjows, and I mean, it is what it is. Maybe extreme co-op, this will be super useful, but I don't really see this character getting played too much unless it's like, unless he's bonus in epic raids, which I don't think that the epic raid got announced. I'm gonna have to check the news. Yeah, I don't have BBS pulled up, and I'm too lazy to bring it up. I'm not even gonna lie. So let's go into the baseline soul bomb damage, because that's where this character is gonna lose to Toshiro. Maybe not horribly. Keep in mind that this Ichigo has weakening, so he gets plus 50%. And also he has drain, which means he's 100% pretty much guaranteed to keep his full stamina damage boost. If you've played with Uryu, you know how crazy weaken and drain is when it comes to a character that has increased status ailment chance against the enemies. That's very important, because if this Toshiro loses his full stamina damage boost, you lose a ton of damage, and he doesn't really have recovery. The Toshiro doesn't really have any type of way to recover his HP except for his gauge mechanic, which has a heal of only 30%. If you even get hit for like half your HP, you have to go through 2 full gauge cycles, which is not really hard to do, to be honest. But chances are you probably already cleared the run because he hit so hard anyways, to get that HP back. Whereas this Ichigo will probably just be able to do first strong attack, full heal. If you've used Uryu, you know how easy it is to just pop your first strong attack and fully heal up in content like IT, right? So this Ichigo's not going to have a problem healing up. He's not going to have a problem keeping his full stam. I want to make that I want to just throw that into the equation for those that are wondering, like, is this character better than Toshiro? I don't know. Like, it depends. It completely depends on your skill and your playstyle too. Like, personally, I'm a bit lazy. I like playing the game, just enjoying myself. I don't really try too hard. I'll get hit every now and then because I'm like, sometimes I'm not really, my head's not fully focused. I don't play this game like Elden Ring, right? Some people do. And I mean, if you want to do that, if that's how you like and enjoy the game, I know plenty of people like that. I was there during the original Guild Quest, where people really liked to try hard in content where you actually had to put a lot of effort in, and I can definitely understand that. For those that look down on people that like to put effort into the games they play, it's a video game. It's a video game. Play how you want, right? So let's talk about the soul bomb damage, right? So let's go into your baseline damage, which is going to be 100 multiplied by 1. What's his devastation for 1.4 multiplied by 1.65 for the spiritual pressure boost times 1. Excuse me. Times 1. We did devastation. I didn't calculate in weaken just yet. SP boost, full stamina damage boost. There you go. 2.02. Boom. So that's going to be the baseline hit for the first hit. That's going to be very important in a second. Now we're going to do times 1.5 for the weakening. Multiply that by 3. And then we're going to get an additional 466.62. If the enemy is weakened as you use your soul bomb, this damage is going to be different. But let's just assume that the enemy spawned and you're popping off your soul bomb. And your soul bomb damage is going to be 2566.41, which is really good. That's still really good damage. It's actually better than this Ichigo who gets frenzy, who gets damage plus 100% and devastation 60%. Because this Ichigo also has weakening, and the weakening absolutely should be calculated in, right? So we did SP boost, devastation, full stamina damage boost. I'm just making 100% sure that I calculated and everything right. And yeah, I did. Okay, so there's the baseline damage numbers. Now, like I said, you do have to take into account a lot of different little things, because this, in my opinion, on who's better, who should I work on, blah, 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 really comes down to the way you want to play the game. And that was not always the case in BBS. In BBS, historically, when Caleb comes out with a new broken character, you either play that character or you lose. That's just how it was. So say full bring Ichigo came out, if you were still using Ruruka was a good character, but full bring Ichigo is just built different. If you were using Dangai Ichigo back when like Halibel came out with her disabler, the Dangai, he was good, but like something about disabler and just having like frenzy is just different. You know, like who's the character? Who's the first character that came? Look at 6th Anniversary Aizen versus like Swimsuit Rukia. Night and day comparison. Now that might be a bit unfair because 6th Anniversary Aizen was also an anniversary character, but it's just like you can see how different characters can be. And what I really like about what Caleb's been doing with these end of the month banners in particular, because usually mid-month aren't really OP or anything like that, usually it's just end of the month banners, is that if a character that you like is there, like Toshiro, right, chances are even if Caleb comes out with something more OP, it doesn't invalidate your character, and I love that. Like, look at the end of the month characters that came out that were power, right? You have Yumi Chika, who's a pretty good character. You have this Okiura, who's a NAD character, so I don't really want to compare him too much. But like you have Yamamoto. Like, I don't think Yamamoto got invalidated just because this Yumi Chika came out. Maybe for farming, I guess, sure. But let's see here. End of the month, this Love is still a great character. If you have him, you know that he's, if you have him and you worked on him and you don't have this Yamamoto, then you know that this Love is still really freaking good. Kenpachi is really good. This Halibel's pretty good. Rangaku's pretty good. I don't want to say they're OP or anything like that, because they're not. I honestly think that Kenpachi, Love, Yamamoto, and the Yumichika are like pretty much the 4 red characters that you're gonna mainly see in PvE content. If you go into the end of the month characters for speed, bro, Tensa Zangetsu cracked, right? Then you also have characters like this Ulquiorra. You have characters like Akon. You have characters like 7th Anniversary Uryu. You have Azashiro, and these are end of the month characters that are just really, really good. I think that Kenpachi's kind of like fallen off quite a lot, to be honest, compared to some of these other ones, you know, dare I say. But like 7th Anniversary Uryu, Akon, Ulquiorra, Tensa Zangetsu, even Orihime, like these characters are just really good. And I don't think that pulling Tensa will invalidate the Orihime. I don't think that Tensa will invalidate Ulquiorra. I don't think Ulquiorra invalidated 7th Anniversary Uryu. They just get used for different things, right? Like Tensa's going to be a farmer, so I mean obviously you're going to use him over characters like maybe Akon and Hanataro. But if you have Akon, like it's not like, oh man, I didn't pull Tensa, this sucks, you know. It's like ah man, I didn't pull Tensa, that's fine, I have X character, right? And I love that. But I'm gonna leave it at that. That's pretty much gonna be the damage breakdown for these characters. Like I said, Ichigo's first strong attack is going to be Dog Water compared to Toshiro's first strong attack, and Toshiro is going to be popping it off a lot more often, especially with the gauge mechanic, with the strong attack recharge built into that. But I don't think that either of these characters are necessarily crazy. This is going to be more of like a wait and see exactly what goes down. I'll be very interested, and I'll be definitely keeping an eye out. This Ichigo is very interesting to me, mainly because it's an Ichigo, but like Frenzy plus 2 SP boost, I never thought that we'd see that until maybe it's 2023. So I didn't expect to see that for at least till the game was dying. Maybe the game's dying. I don't know. We'll see.